welcome into another episode of the Dork Side of the Ring podcast. I'm your host, your purveyor of all things dorky within the scope of professional wrestling and sports entertainment. I am Grumm. Try to get that in one breath every time. Just fall just a little short almost every time. But it's good to have you. Welcome in, episode 58. Here, myself, I'm here right now by myself. But we've got Wheezy, we've got Soozy on. We're talking about 3 Count. It's a fun episode. Reality shows, boy band talks, all that, and the bag of chips. If you enjoy the hydroplaning that is conversations on the dork side, this is one of them. It's a lot of fun. We talk about flag football. We talk about just booing Wheezy. We're all going to go to boo Wheezy at flag football. But yeah, so that's a fun episode. That's today's episode. I don't know why I was talking about it as if it's next week's. That next week's is next week's. Thank you guys for checking us out yet again. If you haven't already, give us a little follow, subscribe, and everything. On Apple and on Spotify. Leave those 5-star reviews and ratings. Appreciate it mucho. If you haven't already, all as well, join the Discord and get notified for this and other content that I do and whatnot at Grumm.tv. That's GRUMM.tv. Simple as that. We've got, actually, that reminds me. So we started watching, we've done it for a little bit now, which is watching like the live pay-per-views in the Discord. I'm taking that up another level. In a couple weeks, I'm going to say by the end of the month, we're going to start watching Lucha Underground from the beginning all the way through on the Dork or in the Patreon, not in the Patreon, in the Discord. Patreon's a different thing. That's support.grumm.tv. That's right, support.grumm.tv. You don't need to be a patron for the Lucha Underground watch lines. We're watching that. I think I was talking about it a little bit in the previous episode. Maybe I had a fever dream about it. But Lucha Underground holds such a swell place in my heart because it's like literally like it reminds me. So I am a child of the I was born in the 90s. I hit 30 this year, unfortunately. But we growing up, I was enamored with independent wrestling. You had your Ring of Honors in the early 2000s and whatnot. You had your CZWs, Chikara, those all around me. I occasionally maybe get an IWA Mid-South show here or there, watch it. But mainly the holy trinity for me was CZW, Ring of Honor, and Chikara because they all would have the same talent but would present them all differently. Like, you would see Claudio Castagnoli as one thing on, Chikara, and then you see him in Ring of Honor entirely differently, right? And it was fun to watch these wrestlers that I watch go from these serious presentations or hardcore presentations or these, over-the-top comic book lucha libre styled presentations and just flip them, right? And just be different every time. And like, wrestling is at its best, I say all the time, when no one is taking you seriously, right? You can watch in one promotion, you can watch a character be one thing, and then at the later that weekend they're somewhere else and they're wrestling very seriously, or they're showing a different side of themselves. I think that's why I really love the Collective. Every Mania, you have your Bloodsport, but then you also have Effie's Big Gay Brunch. And you'll see talent on both of them. Or you'll see them in GCW, or you'll see them at Black Label Pro, or you'll see them, in different presentations and different ways about them. I mean, like, you see, John Moxley at Bloodsport, and then you see him the next night, or later that night, or later that week, and you see him in just different presentations. And yeah, it's kind of like the same guy, same character in different arenas. But like back then, those early it was completely. You would just see guys be different. They wouldn't be the same character across multiple promotions. Every promotion was asked different things of them, and they knocked it out of the park. The reason I bring that up, Lucha Underground is like the perfect amalgamation of all three. So you have your lucha libre, but also you have these backstage promos and vignettes and segments where it's produced like a movie, and you have these things that are happening that no that like are there's undercover cops infiltrate. Cause there people have been murdered here. Like there are things that they go like, hey, wait a second, hold on, there was murder here. We should investigate this, and they have to go undercover as professional wrestlers, but they go as professional wrestlers and all this stuff like that. You got mystic, magical type shit going on as well. You have corruption, shit like that. A lot of fun stuff, and it's just like all presented in a very. It's presented in a way that you go, okay, like this is unique. This is interesting. They have hardcore presentation, hardcore matches and whatnot. They have the lucha libre over the top characters, and then they also just have the pure, wrestling, quality wrestling and whatnot. So I really loved Lucha Underground. It made me the biggest fan of Pentagon. It made me the biggest fan of Jeff Cobb. Matanza is still the greatest because he was just a big bad dude. Good stuff. We're gonna start that in a couple weeks. In the Discord, Grumm.tv, if you would like to join a part of that, and I hope I sold you on it. But let's get to the episode this week. Myself, Big Wheezy, Wheezy XL, Soozaloo, going to watch some 3 count in WCW. That's Evan Karagias, that's Shannon Moore, and that's Shane Hurricane Helms, Shane Helms. I was like, wait, Shane or Sean? My brain was, because I just Hurricane, right? But yeah, it's a good one. It's a fun one, and it's here on the Dork Side of the Ring podcast.
Now I'm gonna make sure that there's nothing I can accidentally knock over. The other day, I was editing some stuff, and I had like a plastic cup of like candy in it, like just like some, like caramels, hard caramels, because I'm old, and I knocked it over, and it went all over the place. And now it wouldn't have been that bad because they're all individually wrapped, but I also just put the trash back in there, so I had wrappers going in, I had the fans on, and it was not fun. At least it wasn't water in the cup.
I was more nervous it was water at first.
I'm very, very careful about having any water around, like in an open container, just in general, because I am on oath, and I will knock things over or trip. And last thing I need to do is for an entire cup of water or a cup of anything to go flying in my office, because it's going to hit something expensive that I don't want to lose.
Well, I'm using my work computer because my MacBook is still suffering from the apple cider spilled on it in 2020 when I was doing Secret Santa. So.
Oh no! Oh, I remember that. Oh.
Like I had to stop working on it because my keyboard didn't work. I never got my MacBook fixed.
Have you not? Does is it the Apple Store not fix it if you were quote unquote the issue?
Well, it's the Apple Store, not the Apple Cider Store.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
I just
Weezy.
never went. I never went to the Apple Store. I just was like, the keys are sticky.
Man,
how many of us?
Yeah.
All of them. They're all sticky.
No, Wheezy. They're all sticky, yeah. I mean, who has to echo Wheezy, who hasn't been there with a sticky keyboard? You start pressing Control Shift too many times and they tell you to get sticky keys. Yeah, no, it's not good.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I spill things all the time. My couch has had wine spilled on it.
You need one of those.
Times.
You need those sippy wine cups, the ones with the lids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the 2-handle ones. So you just
Yeah.
Drinking out the top of the fire.
Yeah, I'm just really klutzy. One time my phone broke because I dropped it in a wine glass. It was cracked, and so all the wine seeped into my phone.
Wait,
I'm just very klutzy.
How big of a wine glass?
It was a small phone. I still have an iPhone 8, so this was probably like an
She dropped the
iPhone.
iPhone C. It was the C right into a cup.
She dropped an iPod Shuffle in there. That's what she dropped. The little clip-on one.
It just completely I'm very clumsy. Can't be trusted.
Well, as soon as you're like, oh, I dropped it, I was like, oh, you dropped it on the ground or dropped it. The toilet is a fun one for everyone. A pool? No, a wine glass. It's like the you remember like the cartoon cliche of like the Daredevil? He's like, I'm going to jump my motorcycle into this tiny pool. That's how I envision Suze is just like, I'm going to drop my phone into this wine glass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it good? Did you finish the wine, or were you too distraught to finish the wine?
I think I finished the wine after that.
You can't just waste it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, all right.
That's alcohol abuse, as my grandmother.
That's what my mom would say too.
My mom and my grandmother would say.
We're all familiar with the term then.
Yes, yeah. That's alcohol abuse. It's like, no, alcohol abuse is when you drink too much of it. No such thing. No such thing as too much. Which I would disagree in the morning sometimes. Yeah, there is such thing as too much alcohol. But yeah. Well, we're not... No worries here. Everybody's stationary. Mostly everybody... I think we're all... seat buckled in, figuratively speaking, ready for a fun ride on the Dork side of the ring. We're here. Another episode coming back. Welcome back. Technically, third time to Big Wheezy.
Yes, sir.
Tying Jim Jam. Yeah. So, all right. So it's technically third because Wheezy showed up for the first half of an episode and then had to leave before the second half. So this is technically the third time Wheezy has been on a Dork side.
We'll call it 2.5.
Yeah, it's like 2.5. Like, it's technicalities, but...
Yeah. But
we got
3 times, yes.
3 time guest, Big Wheezy. On the other side of the table, two time guest, Soozy. Welcome back.
Very excited to be back.
I'm fun. I am expecting a lot of fun with this episode, because I think I got a good pairing for this topic, and we'll get to it in a bit. But before we do that, we're gonna get the intros out of the way. Wheezy, let the people know where they can find you, what you got going on, and the such.
So you can find me at Thrill Murray on the Twitter space. I ain't got anything going on, but just holler your support for Sundays. I got flag football going on, and I'm out there like Champ Bailey in the backfield. You don't want to see me. That's about all I got going on. Listen to the Dork side. Just keep listening to those episodes. That's all I need from y'all. But
that's it. The CPFs are going to Orlando to either cheer or hate on Wheezy, one or the other. That's what that's. Yeah. She's like, I'll stand at the end zone. I'm not sure which side I want to stand on, but we'll see. I'll go where the crowd goes. Yeah,
I need it.
Yeah, no, look, Wheezy, people will boo you. I'm sure as soon as this gets aired, there's gonna be at Big Wheezy. Boo!
There's a large boo. I'm expecting.
Boo. I apologize to the listeners. They ended up getting a desktop notification because Adobe Creative Suite wanted to be like, hey, do you want to install us? And I'm like, no, not at all. So apologize to that. But yeah, I think at least 2 people are going to boo you. I might be one of them. That might, just for the bit of it. I might give you the good boo. I actually haven't recorded a new boo with the short hair. I have a let's go with the short hair, but not a...
I'll let you know. I'll be on the field like Hulk Hogan doing the hand to the ear for those boos. I'm looking for it.
All right. Okay. All right. So support Wheezy at the local watering hole afterwards. When is it? You said it's flag, right? Is it rough flag?
No, but I still jam up the wide receivers at the line. I don't care.
Oh, you're that asshole.
I'm a little physical. It doesn't matter.
Somebody's gonna punch you in the mouth. It's gonna happen.
Like, real quick. I started this thing. So our quarterback, he has this like fat gold chain. I have like a normal gold chain, and I noticed a couple other players on our team like had them like tucked under their shirts. And so before the game, I said, nah, we're playing chains out. They're going to have to snatch this off me. So I pulled mine out.
Oh no!
Everybody wears their big gold chains for the games and stuff. It's ridiculous. We're assholes.
That's good. It's not just you then. If they swing on you, the rest of the team is okay. That's good. That's
I'm preying on Aqib Talib to come see me.
Just take the shit. He's gonna be like, get the fuck out of here, or he'll be like, I like the style, but no, don't do that. That's my thing. Suze, what were you gonna say?
How does flag football work? Like, are there refs or
yes? It's ridiculous. We play on a high school football field. It's turf, so that's great. And then they have 2 refs, and they're on either side of the field. So one's on one sideline and one's on the other sideline, and they basically just make calls as they see fit. It's is about as good as you can get. And then they have like a virtual, like they have a little scoreboard, scores table on the side there, but that's about all we have. So you pull the flag, you can't flag guard, which, okay, cool. And then we ran into a problem because we would run into, like, when you're on offense, if you got the ball, you'd like just run straight at the defender. And they said that it's up to the offensive player to avoid the contact. So we're like, oh, so on defense, you can just run into a guy and that doesn't matter. And they were like, well, the offensive players should move. And I'm like, oh, sick. Great. All right. Yeah. And so the season's been rough and rowdy, as you'd believe.
Yeah.
But
that's why there's my answer. It is rough flag football.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's
Are there like unnecessary roughness calls then?
They'll call illegal contact, and they'll call like stuff. We had a kid get ejected, actually. I think this was the funniest thing because these refs are there, and it sucks because it's Florida. It's the middle of the summer, and our games are from 11. It's either going to be 11 or it's going to be like the latest game will be at 3:00. So it's the heat of the day every time. These refs have to work all of the games, and so they're trying to get them done as fast as possible. And one of our guys, because we were losing our team was kind of stinking. It's our first year. It's whatever. And one of the guys starts complaining to the ref, and he goes, "You suck, ref." And he pulls out his flag. He tells him, he goes, "Get off the field." And he's like, "Oh," and he throws his arms up. And the ref, before he picks up his flag, he throws it like in the direction of the player and goes, "Suck on this." And you're out for the game. And he made him leave. And I'm like, I'm calling New York. I need the league officials. This ref is rogue.
Meanwhile, I'm calling the league officials, be like, "Hey, get him! I need this man mic'd up. I need a mic on this
every game."
Yeah. I know that referees is saying something every game. Like at the very, he's like, "Man, I'm calling this guy just because fuck him." Holding.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I try not to argue with them because I know they're out. They got to be out there all day, and it's like it's worthless. But every week, one of my teammates just finds some bullshit to be like, "Oh, what are you on their payroll?" And I'm like, "They barely get paid for this. What are you talking about? They want to leave."
You mean hot dogs and a cold soda? Like that? Am I getting a bite of their dog? Like, is that what I'm getting?
Yeah, no. It's a trip. It's. I think it's more of a male ego thing than anything. So, but good time. So that's the degree of that, Suze. Yeah,
it's cool.
It's a lot of former high school athletes that want to seem athletic. That's what it is.
Oh, I know that there's somebody making the worst cuts of all time. Like, and they're like, "Dude, you didn't go anywhere. You literally stood in the same spot, and they grabbed your." Like, yeah, but if there wasn't a flag, they're not getting me.
Look, yeah, right. No, but yeah, that's my flag football adventures. It's fun. It's great.
Gotcha. Well, Suze, are you playing flag football as well? What's going on with you? Where introduce yourself?
Have anything that fun going on. Although no one can boo me on the sideline.
That's true. I could come to your office.
Oh, don't do that. I would cry. I cry at work all the time. If someone was booing me while I was at work. good.
No, if you're going to Sue's office, you better bring Chris Masters circa 2006. We've established that Chris Masters as a shirtless bailiff, while would not be legal, Sue's would be much more entertained at work.
Why wouldn't it be legal? Is it because he's shirtless, or is it because he doesn't have the qualification?
I don't think shirtless people are allowed in my office.
Did you add? Is that
a lot of Mormons?
Oh yeah, I've got to remember that.
We just got a bunch of new ones actually.
Oh, you got the new edition Mormons?
You got new Mormons? New Mormons dropped?
Yeah, so people from this other firm came over to our firm, like a group of them. I shouldn't even be telling you guys this, but whatever. And like none of the women in our office want them there because they're like very Mormon, very family value.
Are they like jean ankle skirt Mormons?
Yeah, like Mormon women don't show their legs, right? Like they have to wear skirts down to their ankles and like their arms.
Oh,
they wear like the Mormon underwear. And so like we didn't want them to join the firm in our office, but they got voted in. So it's kind of created a lot of tension.
There's a vote? You have to vote? Do you get a vote?
No, I didn't because I'm not a partner. Like firm-wide, there was a partner. So all partner votes. So like all the partners at all of our different offices voted whether these people should come to our office in Salt Lake, and they got voted in. So,
wow.
No shirtless men allowed.
No shirt. Don't worry, Sue. We're gonna get you 2006 Chris Masters showing up at work. All right, by hook or by crook.
We're gonna get a partner vote on it, and I think they'll let him know.
Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah, because my assistant retired, and I need a new one.
See,
perfect. Chris Masters can copy. I think he can use a copier. I won't put it past him. You know.
Yeah.
If not him, we can find like somebody. I'm sure. Maybe not from Utah, but around. I mean, Nevada's close enough, right? Like,
is it?
I feel like
Nevada's really close.
Yeah. I'm not saying Vegas, but like, Nevada. I'm sure there's some dude who's just like yoked out of his mind because there's nothing to do in wherever he's living, Nevada. He's just like, all I do is lift weights. That's it. I don't do nothing.
There could be a Mormon Chris Masters, but he's just not allowed to take his shirt off.
But
I think I would like that.
he wears his shirts real skin tight. So
yeah,
but they have to wear their Mormon undergarments. So that would be kind of weird.
Yeah. I don't know what these Mormon undergarments look
like. Google them. Google Mormon.
All right. I'm about to do this. Mormon undergarments.
I need to see this. I'm a visual person.
Right. Mormon undergarment rules. Oh, I know these. Okay, so they're like...
They have to wear them under everything.
Yeah. Okay, so...
What is
that? the picture about the share. Why is his underwear so long? His underwear...
Hold on. That's so bad. Hold on. I think the worst... There's the one next to it. Look at how much extra space they have in this.
Oh, is it the one? Yeah, is it the one with both the people in it? Yeah. It's like a one-size-fits-all, and they're like, but what if I don't actually fit in it, and I'm wearing...
These look like they're made of one ply. That is the flimsiest... Yeah. Look at how much space that guy's working with.
All right, but like, he could... Okay, but you could get it. You could get the Mormon Chris Masters in that.
I think he might need a Mormon stock in that, if anything. He's a lot of...
maybe, like, here's the thing, like, he's got to wear it, but who's to say he can't put, like, a rubber band around, like, the collar of the arm, and then, like, really flex it, look like the Ultimate Warrior with his, bicep tassels.
I don't know. I think if he showed up and he had that on, it would ruin the whole experience.
All right, so We're getting rid of the Mormon Chris Masters. Just a regular Chris Masters.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, like I said, we'll see what we can do. We'll get the partners to vote on it, and we'll coerce them to go a certain way.
They might have to do the Master Lock Challenge, and if he beats them, he gets the job.
Yeah. If they can break, if one partner can break the Master Lock, then he won't get a job. It's a full Nelson, so he'll like your arms go up and his arms and hands go around, like in between your arms and your head, and then his fingers lock behind your neck. So like, and then he just kind of like holds you up, and it looks painful because it actually is. Like you can legitimately knock somebody out with a full Nelson. I may or may not have accidentally cut off the circulation for somebody as a kid, thinking that it was a regular move. Here.
For some reason, when you said Master Lock, break it, I thought he did something cool where he could like break locks.
Oh no! His finisher
Houdini or something.
His finishing move was the Master Lock, and let's see if I can find a picture of him putting it on somebody. Here's him.
That does look painful.
Exactly. That was the one I was gonna do.
Yeah. So they did the Master Lock Challenge. I think John Cena was the first to break it.
Bobby Lashley.
That's what it was. It was Bobby Lashley. Yeah, because there was a whole thing, and it was week to week who could break the Master Lock.
Yeah,
it's a good time.
And great times, and like it's just like
looks
the whole.
Like it would your neck so bad.
Oh yeah, here's here he is doing it on a much slender Randy Orton, so it looks far more painful.
Yeah,
like because Randy Orton's arms aren't 36 inches and his neck's not 40. Like
I remember I did like middle school wrestling, and I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna like show me how to do a full Nelson, and they were like, you're only allowed to do a half Nelson, and I'm like, a half Nelson? What kind of Nancy boy is this?
I do that when I go for the pin though, right?
Yeah, to roll them up, and they were like, if you did a full Nelson, you would you'd knock him out, and I'm like, damn. This got infinitely less cooler.
Is it at the point though, Coach? I would win. I'd incapacitate my opponent to the point where he can no longer answer the 10 count. That's a last man standing match.
Oh,
I've seen somebody knock somebody out simply by taking them down in a wrestling match, like a amateur wrestling. So in high school we had these two really good wrestlers. One was like 135, like whatever weight that is, and the other one was like 185. And they were like state champion caliber type guys. And the 185 guy won like 4 or 5 matches in a row by just on like techs, which basically is like he scored 15 points more than the other guy. So he took somebody down, got on their back, and then would let them up, and then he'd get 2-3 points for the guy's 1 point, and he just kept doing that and doing that and doing that. Well, one time, he lifted somebody up, and he just took them down, and their head bounced off the mat, and they were knocked the fuck out.
Oh,
and
God.
he's like, oh shit! Like he's like, I thought I killed him. Like, they gave him smelling salt, and they'd be like, all right, we're taking him to the hospital. Which I'm like, I feel like you shouldn't wake somebody up who's concussed like that, like with some smelling salt.
Yeah, smelling salts bring it back.
Yeah.
Anecdote about wrestling. It just brings me back. I kind of did because again, I was one of the older kids. Because it was like up to like 6th grade, and then it was like younger and stuff. And I remember we were doing this thing, and it was like King of the Mat, but you had to retrieve our coach's like wrestling shoe from the mat. And for some reason, I thought the grand idea, as we were going for it, and I was like headed for like my turn to like attempt to get the shoe, like whatever. I went and I got this kid in a headlock. Then I grabbed the shoe and I made him smell it. And then the coaches broke it up because he was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I thought it'd be funny. And they were like, you made him smell the shoe for like 30 seconds. What are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I was just fucking with him. but I definitely like, hazed a kid. He was in like 4th grade. My bad.
Hand up. That was me.
Me.
I was 10 years old though, so you know.
I made him smell the shoe. It was not a great. But
I was like,
hand up.
those coaches were
Might have
probably
him in the master block.
those coaches were just perplexed by you. They're like, this kid just wants to do swanton bonds and full Nelsons, but damn, he's good. He's out here out wrestling everybody and then forcing them to smell my shoe. Like, God, this kid could be really good if he just had his head on straight. Meanwhile, there's you like, hey, Dad, I made another remote control wrestler. And your dad's like, yes! Screw this wrestling thing. This is where it's at. STEM, baby.
This is the money. Yeah, get him out of there.
Coach is like, yeah, your son is really talented and has the potential to be a really great, you know, top-of-the-line collegiate wrestler if he puts his mind to it. Your mom's, like, listening attentively, like, oh, yeah, like, scholarship? Ooh, that's good. And Dad's like, yeah, but these wrestlers, baby. Like,
how are his promo skills?
Yeah, his promo skill, like, you know, can he talk them into the building?
He actually got ejected from the last tournament because he called a kid a Rudy Poo candy apple. Damn it.
Oh, man. Then he said something about Wheezy 316 says I just whooped your ass. He almost cost us the meat, okay? Last thing I want that kid to do is talk.
We needed those points. He was being too flashy with it.
You just F5ing kids. So it's the prodigy.
No. It was less than I thought it would be. But you live and learn.
Yeah. Suze, refresh the people about your background with professional wrestling, because we've got Wheezy's on lock. He's been on this show too many times.
He clearly knows a lot more than I do about wrestling.
Yeah, I've got you covered.
So I was never like super into wrestling, but when I was younger, I would watch it on like USA Network.
Raw, yes.
I would call my friend up because we were big fans of Booker T. Washington.
Booker T.
On the phone. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Booker T. Washington.
You did it last time too. It was great. You're like, yeah, there's a wrestler Booker T. Washington. I mean, Booker T.
I don't know why I keep doing that.
Because there's an actual Booker T. Washington. So like, you know.
Also, this was probably how many years ago was this? It had to have been like 20 years ago.
At this rate, probably.
Yeah.
Was he hitting the spin-a-rooney?
I don't remember. I just remember calling her up on the phone. Oh, did you see it? Yeah. And then, like, that's all we would talk about. My knowledge is, like, not very big.
Did you see Booker T? Yeah. I saw him do the spin-a-rooney. Meanwhile, just Suze is, like, doing looking at the hand, throwing the arms out the side, swinging the body around. The Suze-a-rooney.
Really don't. Thing is, I don't remember a lot from my childhood. Like, I have vague memories of things, but I can't out the specifics of what we talked about.
We
did watch it.
It comes and goes.
Yeah.
No, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, that was Suze was doing that in the hallways at school Tuesday afternoon.
He was in dance class hitting this.
Yeah, the Suze. She like I got teach.
I think I definitely tried to do this at my house and got yelled at.
Teach, I got something for you. It's called the Suze-a-rooney. All right, just clear out. ISO, let me do it. All right.
Suze, 5-time. WCW champ.
It's so good. No, I feel like the spin-a-rooney was absolutely something. I was a little too old to try it because, like, by the time I knew about Booker T and really, like, I was like 11 or 12, so my body was a little too long to try some of the more, advanced maneuvers. Like, I had just enough control of my body to know what I couldn't do. Whether or not I tried it sometimes, I just didn't have the space in, like, the apartment that we lived in. So, like, I would just do the thing where I would just choke slam my brother and, body slam him. but come into like a spinneroonie or like a 619. Nah, don't. I tried a 619 on a couch one time and I broke the arm.
Ugh.
You know, because I'm like, all right, cool. If I just swing, I can use the yeah. Nope, broke the arm of the couch, and not one that was supposed to break that way. Like, you know how like you can take the arms off of couches now, and like this way you can reorganize. Nah, it was built into the actual frame, and it snapped, and I was like, oh. So,
How much trouble did you get in?
I mean, I got the wooden spoon. Got called like, what were you thinking? And then my uncle made fun of me for it for a couple weeks because he's like you can't be doing that. You're bigger than Rey Mysterio, like you know. And I'm like,
your uncle didn't challenge you for the WWE Championship.
Here's the thing. He was at fault too, right? So my uncle was staying with us. For a little, you know, he's my mom's younger brother, baby brother, and he was working, but he didn't have his own place, but he didn't want to be at home, you know, and
as one does.
Yeah, so he crashed in our living room for a little bit, and he was like 8 years older than me or something like that. I don't remember maybe 10 years older, and so like he's big into wrestling, and he's like, yeah, like throwing it, and like, yeah, and I'm like, I'm gonna do the 619. So he's like, all right, yeah. So he was right there as I did the 619, broke the couch, and he's like, yo, your mom's gonna be mad, and I'm like, we gotta fix it. He's like, I don't know if I can. He broke it.
Oh no!
He didn't even
You're
try.
an adult. Fix it, damn it.
Exactly. I'm looking at him like, you are a contractor. You tools, nails, glue.
You're the
fix
carpenter.
this.
Get on it.
He's like, I can't. I tried. I can't. So then my mom was like, what did you, who? And she immediately looked at him, and he's like, nah, nope, no. And he immediately ratted me out. And I was like, what? He was wrestling with it. And she's like, yeah, but did you do it? I'm like, yeah. She's like, she goes and grabs a wooden spoon, whacks it on my backside, and I was grounded for like 3 weeks. So no, I couldn't watch wrestling.
Wow.
Also, no computer access. Like, you know, so that got, it was no computer and no wrestling. So I'm like, fine, I guess I will watch MTV Jams and MTV2. Like, I guess that's what I'll do for 3 weeks.
Really kept you on.
It's crazy because I was not allowed to watch MTV while I was like 18.
Did you grow up in Utah? What is that?
No.
Close enough,
No, I
though.
have a very Catholic dad, and so MTV was not allowed.
So you've had to catch up on all the Jers Day drama?
Like,
no, because Susan's around. Susan's, Susan's, a young woman who was old enough to be 18 during Jers Days.
Were you?
Yeah. Well, thing is, I would watch it like at my friend's house and be like so jealous they were allowed to watch whatever they wanted to.
And just, my dad won't even let me do spinneroonies anymore, and your dad's letting you watch, just, Jersey Shore. I can't even do a spinneroonie at my house.
I know she needed one of those portable mini TVs, and she's just hiding it below. What is that? And they're just like, Jim, laundry. And she's like, fuck, turn off.
Jim, tell Ronnie Sam kissing another man.
Your dad's like, who? What note? What?
Who
where?
is Ronald? Who's this Ronald and this Samantha?
Are they concerned with a note? Who wrote it?
What is a Snooki? What is that? What's a JWoww?
It's just so crazy. Like, I wasn't allowed to watch MTV, but I went on chat roulette. Like,
Well, where's the line? That's not innocent. Catholic dad. Yes.
Nah, because I know Susan straight lied. It was like, no, I can talk to other kids my age.
Oh God, hold on. There was a movie, and it's got the girl that was Natalie what's her name in Byers? That's what it is in Stranger Things.
Yeah, Natalie. Man, what was it? I literally was looking at it today because of that TikTok. Where
Nancy. Sorry, no, I mixed.
Yeah, Nancy
I mixed
Wheeler.
both
Yeah,
names. It's Natalia Dyer, but
Yeah.
she plays Nancy Byers.
No, Nancy Wheeler.
Wheeler. Wow.
She dates Jonathan. But look, I'm right. I have literally the last episode of, so it's all fresh in my brain.
Yes, but anyways, Natalia Dyer, she's in this movie, and it's something I think Soozy would enjoy. It's on Netflix, and I'm trying to think. I got to pull it up. I'll send it in here. But it reminds me of what you're talking about, because she's like, it's based in like the early 2000s.
Is it Yes God Yes?
That is exactly it.
it's the second. It's the second movie she's known for. After an innocent AOL turns racy, a Catholic teen in the early 2000s discovers masturbations and struggles to suppress her new urges in the face of eternal damnation.
Well, that's really funny.
She goes to this church camp. It's like a
crazy plot.
It's a wild plot.
It is ridiculous. I think you'd enjoy it. It's so funny. I was like, what in the world is going, like, it was more bizarre than, like, it was like bizarre funny, because you're like, what the hell is going on, because everybody seemed to be like taking crazy pills, and then she's over here like, what's going on, like she's just as perplexed as you are watching it. But I think you should watch it. I think you'll enjoy it.
I'm gonna watch it and I'll give you a review.
Okay, that's definitely worth it.
There's a quote.
I'll put it on my letterbox.
Too much, because there's a lot to unpack.
This is the quote I just looked up, and it sold me on the film. Alice, who I believe is the main character. I thought I was going to go to hell for rewinding Titanic back to the sex scene 3 times. Gina, yeah, I thought I was going to go to hell for looking through my dad's Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. Alice again, I thought I was going to hell for having cyber sex. I'm in. How do you just go like, I was just watching sex scenes in the Titanic. I was also cyber sexing.
And the worst thing is, so she says that, and her friend is like, yeah, why would you do that? You're so weird. Like, that's that's so racy. And I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, is it though? I mean, come on, they just put their hand on the car. Like, you don't really even see anything. It's not even the painting scene.
Yeah, the painting scene is more risque, because you see whole boob.
Love the movie Titanic.
It's a good movie. It's one of like the long movies. I had this thought the other day. Titanic and Forrest Gump are one of like the non like action movies that are 2.5 hours long that don't feel really long. Where you're just like, wow, there's just a lot in this. This all went by. Like, wow, I'm already, like Forrest Gump. Wow, I'm already at the scene where he meets his son. Like,
you gotta think about this. So if that movie's set in the early 2000s, right?
Yeah.
They would have the VHS of Titanic.
Oh,
that
yeah.
is 4 videotapes. 4. That's how long it's 4 videotapes.
I mean, you only need the one for the sex scene. So.
I know, but she had to sit there. And then they'd be like, why is this one of the 4 worn down more than the other?
Yeah, this one's really... Why is the quality on this bad? Huh? Whatever. That's what
I was just talking about this Titanic with my mom, because when I was a kid, we went on the Disney cruise. I had a plastic version of the necklace that she wears in Titanic, the one she drops in the... I wore it like the entire cruise, and I said to my parents, "Why would I do that? How would I have seen Titanic?" I thought of the movie when I was like 6 years old. My mom's like, "Well, maybe we let you watch it without the sex scenes."
Which, in fairness, the sex scenes in that movie don't do really. They don't really do anything for the story. Like, they're not vital to the story. No sex scene. Not no sex scene, but 99% of sex scenes in movies have no like plot line. Like, they're just there because they had to fill a quota of, hey, these adults had sex.
Shades of Grey, though.
Like I said, they're the 1%. You got to have the sex scenes in 50 Shades of Grey. Otherwise, it's just boring dialogue.
I've never seen 50 Shades of Grey. Is it good?
No, I don't know. I say no as if I saw it. I've never seen
it.
No, I have not seen it. I can't imagine it's good because I feel like the first one came out and then they had like already planned to do the second and third one, and people were like, "We don't care. We're just gonna keep reading the book."
Yeah.
Have you seen it, Wheezy?
No,
Okay.
not me. I just like
I'm
to.
surprised you've never seen it. Seems
Why
like
are you
something
surprised?
would watch. I don't know. I could just picture you watching it.
Oh, all right.
Wheezy's like, I see myself as a Christian Grey type, you know.
I just watched my first Dakota Johnson movie the other day. Like, there was that new. It's on Netflix. It's something lame, but yes,
Always.
it's
It's not the Gray
God.
Man, right? No, that's got.
No, that's Ana de Armas. It's. Hold on.
Is it the period piece?
It is. It was actually not bad.
Persuasion?
It is Persuasion. Yes.
Look at this.
I
Google.
knew it was something stupid.
Google help
it
me
was,
out here.
It was ridiculous. It was the most ridiculous movie I've ever seen. But Dakota Johnson, okay, she's not so bad. I don't hate it, but that was my first movie I've ever seen her in. So I did avoid 50 Shades, so I can innocently say that's not my first one.
Good call. Now you're gonna dive in where you're like, all right, look, I really like Dakota Johnson, but I didn't want my first Dakota Johnson experience to be 50 Shades of Grey, or 50 Shades Darker, or 50 Shades Freed.
Well, I had to take her out to dinner first. You know, you have to you just bam. You know, like can't.
You're not. Yeah, not wrong. I understand. So before we get to our the topic, the video, going in line with our discussions about early 2000s MTV, somehow it just so willed it to be that this is kind of on topic. But what's your favorite like typical boy band?
I'm a big NSYNC guy.
I was a Backstreet Boys person.
Whoa.
And I was a big Jonas Brothers person. I went to like 5 Jonas Brothers concerts.
The Joe Bros? What about the
Joe
Naked
Bros.
Band, huh?
No.
Hater. Nat Wolf was going off.
I was Team Backstreet Boys.
Okay.
Same. Backstreet Boys. I don't think O-Town's not a boy band, is it? O-Town was a one hit. It is a boy band. Okay. So, all right. Okay, maybe
I liked O-Town.
Yeah.
I liked one song.
The other one, it's
and then my friend wrote in her journal that O-Town was her least favorite band ever. And it was so funny. I was so heartbroken.
Yeah, what was their Liquid Dreams was the first single. Yeah. Okay.
98 Degrees. That's
98. Yeah, that's the Nick Lachey one. Yeah. That's a good one.
I had to pull up Nick Lachey. I'll give him some credit there.
Out here now, him and his wife are just ruining relationships and causing the most dramatic
relationship.
Like they have created relationships, but then they also did the Ultimatum show, which is a wild concept.
Still haven't seen it.
They've done Love Is Blind as well, and that show is just as toxic.
Oh, it's the most recent season. Shane and now that was wild. Shake is a dickhead. I can't think of anybody who's ever come out of a reunion show looking worse than Shake did.
This guy, Soozy, have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen any of those shows.
So the whole premise of Love Is Blind is like you're in these tanks and you can't see them, so you can just talk to the people, and there's a wall. You never see the person until you like propose to somebody that you get to see them, right? And
aren't they like all attractive though? There's no one that's like objectively unattractive, right?
I don't know. I mean, they had some kind of. I feel like there's a line. Maybe they're all like conventionally attractive, but I mean, like
they all had. So
it's not anything crazy.
It was a lot of it was we're gonna like these are all objectively beautiful people, but there's always like there's something that would be wrong with them to somebody, right? Like they're not I'd prefer to date somebody who is this race, or somebody who is this tall, or somebody who has a beard. Like,
there was all sorts of different body types represented. And like, so the guys shake, like you're not really like you're supposed to go into it not knowing what they look like till you like see them. And this guy was in like the first pot, like they put in pods. He was asking girls. He goes, "I like to go to music festivals and put girls on my shoulders. Are you somebody that I could do that with?" To try and see if they would admit to being like overweight and stuff.
See, I feel like guys do that on dating apps too. They're like,
he was.
Oh, I want someone to like work out with me, or like you can just tell they're like trying to see like how fit you are, without explicitly.
It's wild to me that they got photos and they're still like, all right, but I'm still gonna ask, like,
Yeah, but that's just how online is.
I wouldn't.
It's just weird because this guy literally did it in person, and it's on a show that you're supposed to put like physical attraction kind of to the side until you like meet them, kind of, And then the girl he was with, she was nice, she was great. I feel like she was way better than he was, and he was like, yeah, she feels like I'm dating my aunt, so he just never got physical with her, and he like literally said those words out loud, and was like, yeah, it's like kissing my aunt. I'm not going to do anything with her. And I'm like, you're the worst.
Yeah, so like his whole thing is like, I only date like blonde white women, and he's Indian and she's Indian. And like, he's like, I've never dated a brown girl before. And it's just like, what? Okay, I understand what you're saying here, but also, at some point, you're supposed to get over this concept. Like, you're like that. The whole point of the show was not to care about what your partner looks like. It is so that you look like inward for the beauty of everything. And he's just a dickhead.
It's such an interesting concept. It's like, I get what they're doing, but at the same time, I feel like there's people like you don't have physical chemistry with.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And they do the thing where, like, you find what's wild is to see what they look like, you have to propose to them. Oh. And like, so everybody's on the show is like, I'm looking to settle down right now, and the whole idea is if I'm gonna fall in love with this person. Except I'm only doing it over like the course of like a week or two, and then afterwards they send us on a resort beach for a week. And then we're engaged, and we're gonna get married, and they're gonna, organize a marriage for us and all that stuff. And it's very quick, and and they're all from like the Chicago area. This one, like they're all in that area, in the Midwest, Chicago,
one of
Wisconsin.
This one it was Chicago. The first season was Atlanta, so they kind of go around when they're filming.
Yeah,
like to this city.
But
wait till they do Utah. It'll be great.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Utah.
I know.
You'd enjoy it. They give out free wine.
They do give out free wine. They do.
And you could also look into it because they do have a lawsuit. One of the guys that was on the show is not somebody that was on the season, but they're accusing the show of unfit working conditions because they'd only give them alcohol. And if you ask for like a water or anything else, they'd be like, no, you're going to keep drinking. We want good content.
That'll be so embarrassing just sitting in a pod by yourself drinking wine the whole time.
In the first
to talk to people.
Oh God! In the first season, this woman, she got so drunk and she looked so bad on TV because
that would be me.
She was talking. She was like, "Oh, it was bad, sis." Every season they have like the wine drunk. Like, what is this lady doing? And they always put the spotlight on her. She always gets proposed to, so they can extend it out. And then I feel like the entire season they're drunk, and then they get to the reunion show, and they're like, I don't know why I was so portrayed so badly. And it's like, well, you did down like 4 bottles before we.
That wasn't Shayna this one. It was what's her face?
That was Shayna, and then the season before it was.
Yeah.
There was another girl, and she was. Oh God, yeah, it was bad. But
what's worse?
Those shows they get you drunk on purpose.
Yeah, and if that's not enough, right? So the same production company, Suze, goes and decides to up the ante They're like, how can we make a reality show based on reality love show that has like the polar opposite of the feels of Love is Blind, where we're trying to make people fall in love. How about we do it where we take couples who have all been given where one person has been given an ultimatum of propose to me or leave, and let's all put these couples in houses with single people.
Yeah, that would be bad.
So I think it's 16 couples, and then there's like 8 single people. Like, so that this way, like, if you want to break up but go to somebody else who broke up, and you're like, I'm ready to get married. I haven't watched it. I refuse to, because we're just tumbling down the hill to the point where we're just gonna be like, I don't know what's next, because I can't think of anything worse. But clearly, somebody is thinking of something worse as a concept.
Is it toxic that I would want to be one of those single people, like tempting people away from their relationships?
We can put you in the bait. We'll put you on the finish line. We'll reel them in.
Look, I don't think it's toxic, because you're going into that knowing that every couple there is on the, like, somebody is fed up. Like, you're just like,
yeah, like I think I could get one guy.
At that point, I feel like it's almost a challenge for you, because you're like,
yeah,
who am I flipping?
It's first and goal. It's first and goal from the 2, Soozy. If you can't punch it in there, like, that's we're not good.
Sometimes
not good.
When I go out, I just like test myself to see if I still have game like I used to.
You pass the test?
Yeah.
All right, that's good. Look, as long, you do the kids still got it. You blowing the fingernails.
It's like when you're walking by a basketball court and the ball rolls to you. You got to do I still got it?
Yeah. Nope. Never have. That's the thing. I never had a jumper. So I'm like, all right, no, I'm gonna roll it back. But all right, so we've got 98 Degrees, O-Town, Backstreet Boys, the superior of the big bands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't see any member of NSYNC on Static Shock, okay? All right, my case is settled. Also, didn't see any relative of NSYNC also becoming a recording artist that makes incredible music.
I also didn't see any member of NSYNC's family addicted to crack.
Here, who was addicted to crack?
That's right.
I mean, that's fair, but if we're gonna hold that against like recording artists, that's a lot of our favorites. We're gonna have to come to Jesus meeting about and be like,
well, you brought him up.
Hey, look, I'm, if one of the Carters want to do crack, they want to do crack.
I did not give him those face tats. I did not put that crack in his hand. Shit happens.
Look, Backstreet Boys had Burger King deals. NSYNC did not.
Look, they were managed by the same person, so
they really were. So
they also were managed out of Orlando, so big win for me.
Yeah, right. Talk about just playing both sides. That management group's like, yeah, we're gonna manufacture a feud and make billions, and we'll continue to make billions 20 years down the road. So good for that. I like how they're like, yeah, we had so much talent that we built literally 2 different ones. Wow.
Yep.
The reason why I bring them up is 2000, the year 2000. There was a wrestling boy band, believe it or not.
Oh.
in the year yes. So in 2000, WCW.
What do they look like?
Oh, we'll see that. We'll get. It's a 3-band. They were named 3 Count because everybody goes down for the 3 count, which is an interesting slogan.
That's pretty fire.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. They had 2 hit singles, "Can't Get You Out of My Heart" and what was the other one? It was Is it Beautiful Heart? I think it's Beautiful Heart. Was the second title. I had it written down and I can't find it. But they had 2 hit singles. So what we're going to watch is the debut of Three Count.
Oh my gosh.
December 23rd, 1999, the debut of Three Count and how they came to be, kind of a making the band thing. And then we're going to see them later wrestle the Jung Dragons at New Blood Rising in a 6-man tag team ladder match, where at the top of the ladder was not 1 but 2 items for grabs: the gold record that they had, that Three Count had, that the Jung Dragons stole, and the recording contract, so that the Jung Dragons claimed if they won, Three Count would never make another song ever again. And obviously, it plays in the whole thing. There's a lot of comedy involved. It's a lot of fun. So we're going to watch that here at the Dork Side of the Ring. We'll be right back.
Hey everybody, just taking a break here. Got a couple things I would like to advertise, plug. As always, support.grumm.tv. That's the Patreon. For as low as $1, you can be a patron. We're going to be adding some more features and benefits to your patronage. Things like deciding what episodes you would like to see done, or topics, any live stuff as well. So maybe some live recording in the future you can come by and listen to and be a part of. That's cool stuff. We also have got the watch-alongs. Those are always there. Just put up. I think I meant to put it up and I just never hit publish on it, or I didn't hit the right button to publish at the right date. The Custody of Dominic Mysterio match, that went up this past weekend. This coming weekend will be the Graveyard match between the Kiss Demon and Vampiro, and that whole saga with the Grapple guys, Jim Jam, Broads, and Aaron. Jim Jam was just on the last week's episode, so yeah, we'll check that out. Also, we've got some good stuff going on at just Grumm.tv in general. In fact, I got a survey right now. If you go to Grumm.tv, the Discord, or if you're already a member of it, there is a survey there. Fill it out, and you may win some money. You may win some prizes for said opinion. I'm just asking for your opinion. Fill it out. Let me know some future content ideas, some current content feedback that I want, just suggestions, feedback, and just what kind of content and where you get your content, how you consume your content. I want to know it all. I want to know more about you. So if you're listening to this, go to Grumm.tv. In the community updates, there is a link to a Google form that is the survey that I just talked about. Fill it out. It's 25, 30 questions. I'm not entirely sure. I don't remember. Fill it out, and you can be entered to win the lovely, lovely prize of some money. Cash money. Who doesn't like some money? That's right. Money, money, money. Haha. Thinking about the piggy bank ham from Toy Story. Woohoo! Money, money, money. Anyways, let's get back to the episode right now here on the Dork Side of the Ring.
Goodness.
That is it. We're back. The incredible 3 Count versus the Jung Dragons. Wheezy, first impressions.
To quote Demolition. Oh, what a rush.
That's Legion of Doom.
That was Legion of Doom. I'm an idiot. Anyways. Regardless.
Yes.
What a rush. What a time. That is just goofy. I think it's funny to see gimmicks like that with people are better than the gimmick. I mean, not necessarily like the main guy, but like Shannon Moore and Shane Helms. Those guys are not bad. So then you get stuck in this terrible gimmick and you're like, my goodness. But yeah. Crazy. What a time.
What a time. Suze, your first impression.
I was not rooting for 3 Count at all.
No? You weren't feeling the 3 Count?
No.
Was it because they were practically Evan Karagias' incel merry men of incels? Like Like, hey, these.
No. What was up with that? He was gonna charm the pants off everyone's girl, and then what?
And then leave them the skanks that they are. His words, not mine. Like, all because he fumbled the bag. He had an attractive older lady, and then he was like, "Yo, I can also get attractive younger ladies, and then I can steal other people's girls, and then." Now Chavo Guerrero's calling me holeless. He's saying you ain't got no girls. Here you go. How to pick up women. Like,
You think it told him to start a boy band?
I guess like, but then like so. All right, so for the viewers, the reason the 3 Count is debuted as Evan Karagias' comeback. He's been on the downslope. The way, he don't like the way that these women have been treating him. He was very women be shopping-esque. And then all because, he was, played a fool by some women because he's a dumb good-looking dude who got, taken advantage for being a dumb good-looking dude. And he didn't like that. He thought higher of himself. A real I have to love me story could have been told. Instead, he just got 2 of his friends and they made bad music. So
now I've got a fun little exercise here. Sooz, his name is Evan Karagias. How do you spell that?
Oh God.
Is it not spelled like normal?
No.
I'll also add that it's his real last name.
His real last name is Courageous, but not spelled like courageous.
No. It's Karagias. Courageous.
I feel like he's lying, and that's not how it's pronounced.
No. No.
What would you call it? Karagias?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say Karagias.
Karagias.
Yeah.
Like
that sounds way worse.
Oh,
my pronunciation.
I get that courageous sounds better, but like, why would it be spelled that way?
If I gave you 3 guesses to figure out what state of America Evan Karagias was from, based simply on his accent, Suze, where do you think Evan Karagias is from?
I can't even think of his voice. I'm just gonna guess Florida.
All right.
You're not wrong in thinking that he did sound like somebody from the South. Yes.
Doesn't remind you of a Florida, like the Florida man?
He does look like a Florida man, but he's actually from North Carolina.
All right.
He does. Look, he's got. Come on, he's got long braids. He said, "I'm
just because I saw 2 folks like that today."
He's an island boy. Evan Karagias was the first island boy. Evan Karagias also, before becoming a pro wrestler, had moved to New York City to pursue an acting and modeling career, where he also became the spokesman for the 1996 Calvin Klein and U.S. Olympic Committee advertising campaigns.
I cannot picture him as a Calvin Klein.
No?
No.
Not with long hair?
Think of him in those Mormon underwear. I'm sure you'll...
What makes you think I haven't already pictured that?
Oh, I don't know.
She's like, what would he look like if he was Mormon? Like a Mormon with braids. What's going on here? But yeah, all 3 of them were.
He's not ugly, but you can tell he has like rocks in his head.
I mean, look. That was his whole gimmick before 3 Count, was that he was just a good-looking but dumb guy. You're telling me this guy couldn't be a Calvin Klein model? I'm not going to defend this guy, but you can't tell me you can't see him in some Calvin Kleins wearing a bucket hat in the 90s.
Searching it right now.
I don't know. I mean, they did.
I put it in the group chat.
There's no way that's a Calvin Klein ad.
It's probably not, but you're telling me this guy isn't. He not. Look at all. Also, look at all 3 of the 3 Count guys in this photo. If it ever sends, I don't know what's going on, but Evan Karagias is the only guy who's ever seen a weight. Like the other two are just not lifting at all. Look at them. Shannon Moore on the right there is like flexing, and you only see the tendon of his elbow. That's it.
Yeah, he definitely has a better body, but I just can't picture him as a model.
Gotcha.
Maybe it's his face, the braids, and
it's really
are the braids that distracting?
It really is the braids. They are like he'd probably be a regular good looking dude, and then he decided to put braids in his hair.
He doesn't look too awful with the normal hair. If
How
you look.
How about this look for him? How about this look? We feeling this more than him as 3 count?
I feel like that's just the same. That's just the denim. That's the same thing.
No, he's got a black bandana on. That's different than the red backwards hat.
Or the bucket hat.
Or his arms look so weird in that picture.
Oh, because like you can't see his shoulders or his elbows, so all you see is like his bicep and tricep. So they look
his
like
arms look like legs.
Yeah, it does look.
They look like legs.
And they look like knee braces.
I think he's hoping that you look at his abdominal versus his arms. He's like,
yeah, he's
don't
really
look at my arm.
drag the eye line.
Yeah. I mean, look, as a pro wrestler,
It looks
that's what,
even less like a Calvin Klein model there.
wait, no, this is this.
Are you trying to convince her?
No, this is Calvin Klein. I think like more recently, or not Calvin Klein, Evan Karagias more recently. I think yeah, because I guess he got that tattoo later. Yeah, no. Why is he wearing gloves? Why you got gloves? That's not cool. Cool guys don't wear gloves.
Gloves.
Yeah, he's got gloves. He's got gloves on. But yeah, no.
Was it taken at the Capitol?
I don't. The picture quality isn't that good, or it was taken by an Android, and maybe so. Maybe.
We zoom out, and he's got Jesse Ventura over his shoulder, and they're right on the steps.
Look, Jesse Ventura. Did you hear him go off about January 6th?
No, I imagine it wasn't great.
No, it was great. So, yeah. So Jesse Ventura is a veteran, and he takes the oath that he took in serving very seriously. So when he's on Chris Jericho's podcast, and Chris Jericho, who is like, yeah, Jesse loves conspiracy theories. I love conspiracy theories. Yeah. And like they just go down this rabbit hole that ends up with Jesse Ventura going. He's like, you know what I hate about those cowardly fucks at January 6th? Not a single one. And he just starts going off about people who stormed the Capitol. He's like, I took an oath to defend this country from threats domestic and foreign. And he's like, if I was there, you give me and 5 of my guys, we would have slaughtered everybody who tried to step into the Capitol. And I'm like,
my goodness.
What the fuck? And Chris Jericho, whose wife was there, is like, oh, yeah, definitely. Like, he's got to, not be like, but Jesse, my wife was there.
That's awesome.
So,
Did not expect that.
Yeah, no, it was good. But 3 count, of the 3 members, who do you think performed their role as a boy band member the best? We'll start with you, Sooz.
I think it's gotta be Evan, but I don't think any of them were that good.
You don't think anyone the debut? None of them were good. Well, Shane Helms had an incredible head of hair. That was very soft, and he was wearing he was fully into it, but not the actual dancing of it. But by the New Blood Rising match, they had choreography. Tank Abbott, Tank Abbott was killing it.
His nipples were not killing it. It ruined it.
Yeah, no, I don't
It
understand
way
why.
worse.
I don't understand.
I did not get it.
Whose idea was that to just be like, yeah, Tank, are your nipples in where the green marks are? Yeah, let's cut them out.
Maybe he went to school with Regina George. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe, perhaps. Like they were just
I
chafing his nipple.
I don't know. I feel like it's got to be Evan though, because like the other two didn't even have mics to perform the first time,
No.
and then like they all danced and stuff. But honestly, in a dance battle, they're losing to Too Cool. I know that
Oh,
they can't.
absolutely.
They can't keep up with Rikishi. They can't keep up with Scotty Too Hottie. These guys, the dance moves are lacking. So I got to go off of just the ability. Evan's got to be the boy band guy. The other guys are just the backup.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, I'm gonna put some love out there for Shannon. You know, because Shane didn't do a lot. He's like, I'm not the I'm not the Aaron Carter. I'm not the the Timberlake. Like I'm not invested. I'm gonna be cool with being the Chris Kirkpatrick. That's what I'm cool being the Joey. I'm good with just being the side guy, right? Shannon's like, no, I want to be the AJ or the Lance. Like, I want to be noticeable. I'm trying to get somewhere after this gig. He was actually trying to dance at the start. Also got yeeted by Chavo Guerrero, like 12 feet. I'm going all out for this. But yeah, it's just like it's wild that somebody was like, let's make a boy band. Let's take these three kids from North Carolina and pretend that they're a boy band. And like they're like, we don't sing. We certainly don't sing. No. And they had the whole music video and everything. What do you guys think about that music video that they had?
That was something.
Do you think they thought that this boy band could be good enough to like go over NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
Oh no, not
they were trying
there's
to
no
like.
way they had to.
No.
But like it's crazy they made a music video and they don't even own the rights to the song, which means they paid someone to write a song for them.
Oh yeah.
Well, no. So WWE, who owns the footage and everything, they don't own the right to the first song. So that
means
like
they hired a company probably to make a song for them.
Well, the people who actually wrote the first song at the time worked for WCW, but they didn't they licensed they owned the song and then licensed it to WCW, and WCW was like, why are we paying for a song? Let's just make a new one. And that's when they did everybody do the 3 count, and that became the song that they then owned. Yeah. Just absolutely. I think the ultimate goal was to get like NSYNC, Backstreet, like some boy band to like come on screen and like get publicity that way. Because the very same year, they got James Brown to appear at a pay-per-view. So like it wasn't out of the realm of possibility of them getting an actual boy band like a 98 Degrees, NSYNC, Backstreet Boys. Or even if they get like Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera to show up, and then get them some public. Like they were just throwing, they were name dropping TRL, MTV, Britney, Christina.
Yeah, they said they've been on TRL. Yeah, they watched TRL.
Like they were trying to, they're doing all this stuff so they can get some recognition in the mainstream, because at the time WCW is in the shitter. Like they are swirling the bowl. And there's no stopping it. And they're just like trying anything to get anybody some public notoriety. And eventually they were like, well, just make them a joke completely and have Tank Abbott be their biggest fan. Like, which is still a wild thing. Like that'd be like the equivalent of like Conor McGregor being their like biggest fan. This is wild to think about.
I think it's funny because like you think about like like John Cena's gimmick was like this like first. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like the first like rap gimmick, but it's like one of the ones that like actually works. And it's like you think about it, and you're like, okay, so his thing is like rap, and that was like big at the time. And you kind of just block out the idea that they even attempted a boy band, because those were big, at the time these shows were going on. And it's like, I think we all did ourselves a service by blocking out that they did, in fact, try the boy band angle. Because, my God, that was
Yeah,
Especially
wrestling
because I think their fans don't fit that demographic. Like at least with
No.
like the rap, that's at least within the wheelhouse of possibility. But I
Yeah.
don't think that boy band is within like the custom. They had the dude dressed up like a juggalo hitting Evan Karagias in the back in that match, and I was like, my goodness, if that isn't a picture of who's watching what,
Yeah.
I
And
don't
the
know
thing-
what.
At the same time, we did have the Insane Clown Posse was like around, and we never got the Insane Clown Posse and 3 Count ever interacting on WCW. No, but wrestling's always kind of done like this. Like we'll try to get like a musical gimmick. Like they did. Jeff Jarrett was like the country western around the time that country western was getting big. There was 3 Count. You had John Cena was like your battle rapper when rap was getting was well into the mainstream.
Don't forget about Jillian Hall.
I was gonna say, yeah, she was a pop singer who was bad at singing. Like her gimmick was she's bad at singing, but they did the whole pop diva thing. Elias was like your the Lumineers dive bar guitarist. I'm trying to think of what other ones there were. Yeah, I don't like they're every couple of years they have one because they're like, oh, like this, like if if WWE had the wherewithal and understanding of it, I would not be surprised to see a K-pop group of some kind.
Wasn't Heath Slater supposed to be?
Oh
something
yeah,
like that?
he's the one man. They had the 3-man band, and it was him, Drew McIntyre, and Jinder Mahal. And
Yeah, there it is. I knew it was something like.
yeah,
It'll-
they were a rock group. I have to go find the WLC and just record that for that match.
I pulled
was
that
ridiculous.
one from the depths.
He's
I
the
try and block
1-man
up-
band, baby.
Yeah, try to pull out the bad ones. Those are all blocked out. Just what the hell is this?
See, I wish I had that ability. I can't do that with I can do it with I can block out like bad Eagles seasons, or I can block out like bad television shows or something like that. I can't with wrestling. Like I just
Well, I do think it's funny. We were watching that, and I'm like, I wonder if I'm gonna like recognize any of these people, and then I'm literally like one by one, like, hey, that's that guy, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's Jimmy Wang Yang, and I'm like, oh yeah, and it's like I know like almost everybody in this right now, but it's like the most ridiculous segment that I've never seen, and you're like, what? It's almost like how like Kevin Nash was Oz, and you're like, what the hell is this gimmick? And then you're like, later he's literally Kevin Nash, and you're like, no way he had a bad gimmick, and it's like, yeah, he did. And then all of these guys, besides Evan Karagias, he kind of stunk, but the other two, they went on to like do other stuff, and you're like, oh, okay, like respectable. So, wrestling's kind of funny that way.
yeah, it's like, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, wow, like most of these guys could probably still go. I know Jimmy Wang Yang, like his daughter is wrestling now. Shane Helms is working backstage. Jamie Noble's backstage.
Noble's backstage, yeah.
Shannon Moore, I think, is training people. Evan Karagias is looking like he's storming a Capitol, but I don't think he is, which is good.
I was looking at that. They said he was a stunt coordinator. He was doing stuff like that.
Oh, good for him. Good for him.
So
He played himself in Crazy Eyes in 2012.
So he when they got bought out by WWE, his contract was part of that. They sent him to the developmental territory, and then he got like a really, really bad concussion, and so he just like stopped wrestling at that point.
Glad he didn't keep going.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically his line there. So that's probably why I didn't really know too much about him, because if his push was the 3 count and then nothing, yeah, stinks for him. But
wait, do we know how 3 Count broke up?
Yes,
Like,
yes.
They like okay.
Okay, so
I want to know how this whole thing ended.
So I was gonna get there because I was gonna be like, every boy band has a breakup story, and wouldn't you know it? But Evan Karagias' ego got him in trouble with the rest of the band. So
surprise, surprise.
so they end up breaking up because, Mr. Courageous was a womanizer, and basically they were like, hey man, like he was very selfish and trying to hog the limelight. He was costing them matches because he wanted to be the winner and whatnot. And then so Shannon Moore and Shane Helms kick him out of the group. And then at the very same time, the Jung Dragons, who we saw, had kicked out Jamie Noble. They jumped him, they beat the shit out of him, they took his mask, and he went from Jamie Sun to Jamie Noble. So it was Noble and Courageous. But because Jamie Noble they were like, we gotta misspell his name somehow, they put a K on the beginning. So it's Jamie Knoble. But, obviously. So it's Noble, Courageous. They work together, and they instead of like having all 6 guys like go their separate ways, they were just like, they're still gonna feud with each other, but instead of it being 2 teams of 3, it's gonna be 3 teams of 2, and they had like a couple really good ladder matches, and then in like towards the end of WCW in 2001. Shannon Moore jumped Shane Helms, and Evan Karagias helped them. So then they were back as 3 count. So they got rid of. So Shannon Moore brought back Evan Karagias and got rid of Shane Helms. So 3 count became like Shannon Moore's the only one who's always been a member, and it's
wow.
Just it's fucking hilarious. And they actually like went for the cruiserweight tag team champions, but they lost. And couldn't make it, but it was very funny because, like, they were typical boy band. They just had breakups and reformings and reunions and everything.
Interesting. They were just back and forth.
So crazy.
But it's just like it's. Again, I can't like. It's fun when wrestling is like, hey, we're gonna take what's going on and we're gonna make it our own, and they did that with boy bands, which was all the crazed.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if the band was a little bit better, it could have like turned into something a little bigger.
You think if they had Booker T in there, he would have been better?
I mean,
They'd have somebody who could dance.
Some better singing, like better lyrics.
Do you think it was actually them
They
saying?
literally rhymed heart with smart and start.
Yeah, the bars.
Those are words that rhyme, yes.
Bars. What are you talking about?
What? I don't see the issue here. You're telling me you wouldn't use those words?
No.
I think Soozy would do like the multiple syllable, like rhymes heart with compart.
Big slant rhyme Suze. That's what they call her.
Yeah. I think Suze would also throw in the juvenile, like, rhyming heart with fart,
No, I wouldn't.
Come on. You be like stressed, like, oh man, I don't know another one. I got a 7-syllable rhyme here. I need to really send it home. Fart. There we go. That's good. That's Suze. That's Suze the lyricist. Bars. All right. So, in a fight, okay, as we know. So, we've got 3 count with their 3 members. We're not going to count Tank Abbott because he basically
he didn't do anything. That was the most worthless member.
He did more harm than good. He pushed the ladder.
He blinded me.
Suze was quiet for a good portion after saying, "What is going on with his nipples?" Like I could tell Suze was either fixating on his nipples or like not. Like I don't need to see his nipples. I don't want to see them. I'm not gonna look.
Yeah, they disturbed me.
Are you taking 3 count in a fight or 98 degrees?
3 count or 98? Oh, 90 degrees. Nick Lachey is putting him in a blender. I know it.
Boy. Seriously.
Yeah, like Nick Lachey's a pretty big guy. like muscular.
I feel bad because I don't know the other members.
Yeah, it's like you're like, it's Nick Lachey's the only one. You're like, yeah.
They've got other dudes though. These guys are kind of built.
Because
like
and
Nick
they
is like
look
the big
like they can climb a ladder a little faster.
Oh yeah, no, because he had his brother Drew Lachey in there too. Yeah, no, the Lachey brothers are putting these guys in the Hurt Locker.
Nah. There's this picture of Drew Lachey, and he's got a fedora. I'm sorry.
And that's better than braids in a flat bill?
Hold on. This picture of the 98 degrees is
I feel like you gotta hold on. I've got one prep, but what do you have?
It's
Oh, it's that one, yeah. No, these guys are large. Hold on,
why does Nick Lachey look like a small Ronnie from the Shore?
Nah, these guys pop the shirts off. This looks way better. Look at these guys.
Why are they wearing overalls and yellow shirts?
Only two guys are wearing overalls, but the Lachey brothers, these guys are shredded, bro.
I mean, yeah, but so like Evan. Scroll up. Look, Evan Karagias got more abs.
But his ratio to the other members really throws that off.
I mean, you're right. All right.
I also
Okay.
got a comment on the 98 degrees tattoo that Buddy has here. What's the commitment to the band?
I want to know which one. Like, who is that?
I don't know.
I'll tell you. Hold on. That is Jeff Timmons.
See what he's up to now.
Why does it look like this picture of Justin Jeffrey makes it look like he's went to jail for something? Oh, because he was. Oh, he was arrested while occupying Cincinnati. Okay, that's different. All right. Yeah, all right. See, that's okay. That's a little okay. I don't.
If I have to choose three members of 98 degrees, Justin Jeffrey's getting left off. Here's my last pick on the bench.
He's the most he's the most unboy band looking guy. He just
looks like they had three members, and the producer just found out that boy bands needed 4 members, so he took the sound guy from the music video. It was like, you there.
Are you guys talking about the tall one in overalls?
Yes.
Yes.
The weird look. He looks like they just called the sound guy over.
It's kind of insulting they put him in the band.
Well, here's the thing. It works because they're like, yeah, no, Nick and Drew are just really good looking dudes. It doesn't matter who we put with them. So we can just put regular dudes who are good at singing and no one will care. I mean, look, Drew's got
he won't get any fan mail.
That's fine.
Oh no,
you know what? He's getting the fan mail from the girls who like the sensitive boy. They're like,
is he the sensitive one? Because I feel like he's like the creepy one. Like,
look, hey man,
the overalls. What is going on?
That was the style. Wearing baggy overalls. It's just like they're both wearing long sleeve shirts, which at the same time, which I don't understand. But they're wearing branded gear too, so that that's just that. How old is Justin Jeffrey? He's 49 right now. So 20 years ago, he was almost 30 when they were rolling.
Yeah, but hold on. Now I'll contend this with you. Ready?
Yeah. I'm ready.
You're telling me Chris Kirkpatrick does not look sus as well?
That's what I'm saying. Is like he just
that guy looks like he sold you bad audio equipment at the radio shop.
Chris Kirkpatrick sells Reggie. He sells it and swears it's not. He's like, no, it's the good stuff. It's the good stuff.
And then hold on, and then look at this. Oh my god, I don't know who took this photo, but this is the funniest photo of the Backstreet Boys. My goodness, it looks like they're a Wiggles.
Look, yeah, but hold on, Kevin.
So bad,
bro. They look
so bad.
Nah, this picture of them. This picture of them has to be before they were because
they look so young.
Yeah, they look insanely young compared to Kevin. Kevin looks exactly how he always looked. That's the thing. You just can't.
Yeah, he looks like the father of the band. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. No. I just can't look. Boy bands were a time, and like I'm glad that the spirit of the boy band is going great with K-pop bands. Um,
I gotta look at these numbers because this one guy looks like Brian Luttrell. That guy always looks like he crapped his pants and he doesn't want anybody to notice. Hold on.
Good...
Wait, I used to like Brian, I think.
Look at his face in that photo, Susan. You tell me.
Why?
He just looks. I don't get his face. He just looks like he just please nobody notice.
You know what though? I don't like that. Like BTS doesn't have like these kind of photos that we're looking at, like these promotional photos.
This guy literally has one look. Hold on, look at this one. He's got one face.
Yeah. Why should you have more than that? It worked for him.
Oh,
I do like the in these two pictures the the transformation for AJ from like being like, you know, clean shaven, still wearing a backwards hat, still got the shades on to now I have the quintessential douchebag goatee and colored shades and blonde hair.
Honestly, he's swagged out.
Yeah, no, there was JC did as much as he could for NSYNC, but no one was touching. AJ was just on another level in terms of just a swagger when it came to boy bands.
Yeah, looking back at this, these guys all look like fucking ridiculous. My goodness.
Yes, I mean, but go back and look at the late 90s, early 2000s. Everything was ridiculous. You ever watch?
It's kind of crazy, like how like enamored girls were with these bands. Looking at these guys, like they're not that cute.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, well, like I mean, think about it. You are like when you are younger, you are like, oh my god, they're so cute. Everybody like they're cute, they're good looking, or I don't think they are, but everybody else does, so I don't necessarily want to not be. And then you just kind of convince yourself that they are cute. Or like for me, it's like, oh man, like I don't like Christina Aguilera. I don't like her music. And like everyone's like, I don't care about her music. She looks good. And I'm like, yeah, she looks good, but like I'm trying to listen to some music, my guy, and like I don't.
But that's what I'm like. I'm wondering if it was like more of the music. If you listen to the music and you're like, oh, it's so romantic, it's so cute. The band is super cute too.
I think that definitely has something
back
to play
then,
with.
like you like listened on the radio, you didn't see them as much.
I think that was doing them a lot of favors at that point.
Yeah, the only time you ever saw them was the music videos where they were, you know, they were wearing insane amounts of makeup and shot.
And you had already heard the songs.
Yeah.
Or you like saw them randomly like in a magazine.
Yeah.
And the music videos never focused on an individual's face for like more than a couple frames.
That's strategic.
Yeah.
And I mean, you are getting a lot of like the cheerleader effect.
Yeah, they're popular.
You put your attractive members in the front, and then the rest of them just kind of blend in there. Fair enough. A lot of trickery.
It's just smart. You draw like the second one that you posted. The second one, all the good looks are in the center, so you don't look.
You put your best fruits in the front,
which is weird because in sync they put everybody on the same level, but then Justin Timberlake's the one who's not anywhere near anybody's face.
Wow.
So which maybe they knew Justin Timberlake was mid after all, but he was just going to be the biggest pop star for quite some time, and escape blame for a lot of things he's done. Hey, not here, Justin. Not here.
Did you know, Suze? Did you know this? Fun fact: the Justified album, that entire album, except for the songs slighting Britney Spears, were written for Michael Jackson first.
I did not know that.
So Pharrell did like the entire album, and like I said, he did. Justin Timberlake did "Cry Me a River," and I think there's another one. It might be the one with clips. those two songs were like not originally like a thing, but they presented the album to Michael Jackson and he was like, nah, it's not my style. And then they gave it to Justin Timberlake and it was like the biggest thing, which is crazy because you're like, oh yeah, Justin Timberlake, this album. And you're like, I think I'd prefer to hear the Michael Jackson recordings.
I had no idea.
Yeah. I
Okay.
did not know that. I mean,
Little,
I've got
little tidbit there. Fun
Yeah.
fact.
Son of a bitch. That's it. Going back in time, I'm gonna break Justin Timberlake's legs.
Well, I still get pissed off because, like, you listen to Cry Me a River and you're like, oh yeah, sick, and then you're like, oh, this was at Britney Spears, and wait a minute, being a dick.
Yeah.
I hate this, but the beat goes hard though.
It's a great song, but God, do I wish literally
The circumstances
it
surrounding
was completely different, you know?
Yeah, no. But just cracked my back. What a time.
I heard that. I was gonna bring that up. I heard your back crack. That was
It was that loud.
that was a good one. That was a solid one.
Yeah.
But
Ouch.
as we wrap up here, final impressions and thoughts on what we watched. Wheezy, we'll start with you.
I am glad that was short-lived. I'm glad these guys moved on to greener pastures. I also think that it's funny because, like, that was I know I didn't really bring it up, but they did their debut. That was on Thunder, and
Yes.
so it's like, okay, that makes sense. This is like a B story, and it's also like, I don't know. I just feel like the execution's always going to be bad and like whatever. But I'm glad they did it, so everybody saw how poorly it turned out and would never ever try it again. Because my goodness, please no. That's my takeaway from it, and I am glad. This just shows that persistence and figuring out the right gimmick will give you better ideas, because most of those guys went on to do better things. So
Yeah, multiple champions between, I think everybody there, other than Kaz Hayashi, had won a Cruiserweight championship at least. So that's
Cruiserweight, some tag titles.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just wild, like, to think about. One thing is, like, finding, like, this is, like, the first time I really feel like I showed something involving lesser talent. Like, I feel like every time I was just like, I was like, oh, well, this guy went on to do, this guy also known as this. It's like, oh, I know this person. These guys never really made it big. Like, I couldn't tell. So it was like, yeah, no, like, Shane Helms became the Hurricane.
That is a pretty big. He battled The Rock. He beat The Rock.
Yeah, but like that's not a name anybody outside of wrestling fans know. Where if I'm like, oh hey, like this person, they ended up being The Undertaker. It's like, oh, I know that name.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Suze, what about you? Final takeaways on the episode of Dorkside today.
I enjoyed it. It was good nostalgia. The boy bands of yesteryear. I'm happy 3 Count
died a death.
Yeah, died a quick death.
You don't have one of their posters on your wall? You don't, right next to the Backstreet Boys?
No, but maybe Evan Karagias' hair will grow on me.
It grew on him. It grew.
I mean, if it grows on me, maybe I'll get. Sure.
You're telling me you wouldn't get this as a poster? Look at Shane Helms. He's wearing a velvet shirt. Look at the hair. You're telling me that's not a boy band material?
Was that Versace?
I don't know.
What is with their outfits?
They look so
like
bad.
They look like they're all going to different places.
Evan Karagias has like the BMX outfit. Helms is going to a 70s bar.
It looks like Fabio.
Yeah,
with the hair.
And then Shannon Moore is going to a football game.
Here's a picture of when they got the gold record. It's small, I know that, but I want to make note of the single bang look that Shannon's rocking on the left.
I don't like that at all.
That is far from worst hairstyle though.
It's still bad.
Hold on. You got to see this. He had.
Oh yeah. Oh, for him, yeah, he had one atrocious decision of a hairstyle. There was let me see if I can find the other one.
I'm scared if that's not his worst.
Yeah, because now he has white guy dreadlocks.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're going. Oh yeah. See, I was going with his other wrestling look that he had.
The giant mohawk.
The giant mohawk.
Look, here's the reunion. Here he is with Jimmy Wang Yang. Oh, explicit content. This isn't even explicit. It's literally just Shannon Moore.
That's the mohawk look that he had.
got a lot of tattoos too.
Yeah,
he's a tattoo guy. Yeah, now he's got white guy dreads.
I need to see these.
Hold on, I'll send it in
He
here.
needs a new hairstylist.
It's bad. They wouldn't let me have.
No.
It's bad.
Yeah, I just saw the. Yeah. Why does he look like Mickey Rourke in The Wrestler?
I always saw that resemblance. It's bad. He does.
Why does he have leopard pants on with that?
Tell me that's not Mickey Rourke. Tell me that ain't Mickey Rourke in there. Just look at that.
Yeah, it's not.
That's Randy the Rain.
I'm gonna have a nightmare tonight about this hair and the nipples. Like,
it's gonna be. You're just gonna see the nipples and the hair. That's all you got.
There's a lot of bad hair in that group. Like, Shane Helms had dyed his hair green.
Look. We're not hating on the hurricane.
No. Here's the thing, though. Because he dyed his hair green, but he didn't wear, like, this is also we're making fun of all of them, fun of all their hairs. Ain't nobody told him that he needed to dye his hair like that and then rock the thick sideburns and just the goatee. Connect the beard.
What's up with that?
Questions. I love how is Wheezy fire emoting that?
It's not bad.
Why did you fire emote that?
Because it looks fire. Hold on. You gotta see the whole get. It makes sense. It makes sense with his getup. Yes, it looks like someone threw up on his head. But,
I'm glad
but look at this. It makes sense.
You can't even tell where the mask
Look at yeah. But then he looks like this out in public. He wearing the puka necklace.
That's just the style. Look, that's just what it was.
Now, see, look, I understand.
It looks like he
that.
works at Guitar Center. Yes.
He looks like he still works at Guitar Center. That's
no.
I know. I see that guy when I drive by. He out there smoke. He's smoking a nice cigarette, a nice clove cigarette.
That's right. There's a hurricane coming through.
Yeah, and it's his lungs. They're going through hell right now. But yes, that is it. Suze, let's begin the send off here. Tell the people where they can follow you, what you got going, what you would like to bring awareness to, and such. The floor is yours.
Well, you can follow me on Twitter. It's SUSSIEEB. I don't really have anything going on, so just listen to the podcast and support Grumm. And if you're in Orlando, boo Wheezy at his
we've got
football game.
Yes, we've come around. We're booing. All right, we got it.
As long as I'll hear them. You don't even need to be at any place specific. I'll just have an ear out for the boos.
Wheezy, what about you? Where can people find you? What you got working on? What you want to bring awareness to, and such?
Well, yeah, just like I said on Twitter, it's Thrill Murray, like Bill Murray, but thrilling, Thrill Murray.
Even though you're not thrilling.
Oh, I'm totally thrilling. Look, I'm telling you, after all these football games and the wrestling content, it's ridiculous. But I don't really have anything else going on. Maybe I'm not thrilling. I've got football and this.
That's the two things I got going. Got me.
Don't make me reflect, Suze. That's rude. But yeah, that's about it. Until next time, I'm sure I'll be back. I'll be the first 4-time visitor, maybe.
Jim Jam will shoot you. I don't know. I don't know.
Unless we have the 4th time episode and it's me and Jim Jam.
So hold on. So it's funny you say that. So I told Jim Jam wanted to be the first of 5, right? And I told Jim Jam, like, well, Jim Jam, I think you're the only person who's been on, 3 times. And then and I was like, well, I think I'm getting Wheezy on again, and Wheezy's technically been on twice already, but I want to make up because Wheezy had to leave halfway through. And Jim's like, but as long as I'm the first of 5, I don't care. And I was like, what are you gonna do if somebody ends up with you that they're? He goes, I'll shoot them. I will shoot them. I'm like, good. He's like, Grumm, I need you to understand. I want to be on this the most. I'm like, okay, like we can make it happen. He goes, I don't want anybody else. If I get to 5 before anybody else, we're fine. I don't care if anybody's got, but I want that. And I was like, all right. What if you're on the same episode as somebody and they alphabetically come first, so technically they're first? And he's like, I'll change my name. I'll change my username from. I'm like, but you're just gonna be Jim Jam.
Like, it's gonna be Aardvark Jim Jam.
parentheses Jim Jam.
Yeah.
Quotation marks Jim Jam.
They're like, damn, you got me.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's funny that I didn't think about that until right. I was like, oh shit, like that's the episode that comes out next week, and I was like, oh yeah, and then you were like, yeah, I'll be the many more. I'm like, you're gonna get shot. You're gonna get shot.
I think it would be great. Well, no, I don't know if I could under the radar get to 4, and then we would be on, and then you just like it would be 5 at the same time just to catch him off guard. But I know that he would keep track. He's got the talent.
Yeah, he'd be like, wait a second, you got Wheezy on again? He's at 4.
Yeah, and then we do the show. Well, either way, but yes.
I might put you guys both on for 4, and then be like, well, whoever responds to the message first, to be the 5th one on, that'll be the first person to be on for 5 times.
Yeah, first of 5. We'll see what happens.
Who knows? Maybe Soozy will beat you. Who knows?
I would love more.
It was great having both of you on. Thank you again for coming on. I love you guys. It was a blast. And
always.
You are always welcome to come on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was so fun.
Thank you, Wheezy. Thank you, Sooz, for coming on and being fantastic guests as always. Appreciate it. Remember, we're going to all boo and jeer, Wheezy in Wheezy's conquest to conquer flag football in Florida. And also, if anybody starts giving those referees some crap, we're going to give the referee some water. Also, just